let's continue. Here's one thing, pastaroni. Any kind of like pasta, like I said, is not going to be good for you in the sense of body fat and you wanting to have not much of it. What do we got here? 36 grams per serving. I know people that have eaten this whole box by themselves, and that's like all the carbohydrates they need for a day. So you do the math, come on. Now, there's alternatives you can do for these things, and I'll go to the good carbs over here. For example, if you wanted a dish like some kind of pasta, try quinoa. This stuff is, I gotta say, it's badass. For many reasons. You look at, oh, by the way, you gotta get used to like looking at the nutrition facts on the back. Like, it's so important. And once you know the ratios I'm teaching you, you'll really kind of understand what you're looking for. And I'll go into ingredients and things like that in future videos. But quinoa, I think, is just like, it's my baby. I use it in a lot of things. Sometimes I'll mix like eggs with it and make like almost like a stir fry with it. You can do so many things. Put vegetables with it, cook it. Like, you can eat it it's just great. But basically, for carbs, you know, there are 30 carbs per serving, right? But this is like a much better form of carbohydrate. Plus, it's high in protein. So this is much better than being something than like pasta, for example, right? This is it right here. This is phenomenal source of not only carbs, but it's super high in protein. This is dehydrated, texturized protein, vegetables. Basically, this is from vegetables. This is one of like the cheapest forms of high protein, low carbohydrate like you can get. Like, this cost me $4 at Whole Foods of all places, $4, and that's 2 pounds worth. So a quarter cup is 12 grams of protein, which I'll get into why protein is important in other videos. But it's 7 grams of carbs. So that's just an amazing ratio, I think, right there for what you're getting. It's one of the best ones out there, I think, besides, like, you know, eating meat. And I'm actually a vegetarian, so I don't eat any meat. So the fact that I can retain muscle mass and stay lean is kind of impressive. I know a lot about food. That's one reason why you should listen to me. So that's one for the shelf. You want to get the dehydrated vegetable protein, and you can make that into anything. It's actually like you can make it like almost like a taco meat out of it. It's totally vegetarian, but you could actually make it where it seems like meat, which is very fascinating, I think. Or you could just, I mean, you could eat it raw if you wanted to. You could put it in like a cereal or something. You could do anything with it pretty much. You can mix it with any food you're eating. It's like I said, it's good. It's low in carbs, high in protein, which is something that you want to think about when you're trying to trim down and get in the shape you want to be. All right, some other things. I want to talk about bananas. A lot of people think bananas, oh, they're fruit, they're good for you in that kind of sense. Yeah, bananas can be good for you. Like I said, with any fruit, I recommend organic. I'll tell you why. It's like, it could be the difference between you getting cancer and not getting cancer based on the kind of types of vegetables and fruits you're getting. Because most of them are, I'll get in another video, but I could rant about that. Just the fact that they're grown in nutrient-depleted soils. They're missing one of the key things in terms of cancer that you never hear about in cancer research. It has to do with them putting fungicide on the products. You don't want that on any vegetable or produce because you're getting rid of the #1 cancer-destroying compound there is, I think, in the universe that most doctors don't even know about. I guarantee like 99% of doctors out there don't know about it because guess what? They don't know much about nutrition. They don't have to learn about it in school, which blows my mind. Like, they don't really have to take nutrition. Nutrition is your health. It's like, you don't, there's this great proverb about, you know, when you have your diet right, there is no need for medicine. And it blows my mind that our society is so wrapped around these artificial pharmaceutical drugs that give you all these side effects and blah, 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 blah. And we throw more money than anybody else in the world, like, at our healthcare system, yet we barely make the top 50 in terms of health around, you know, all the countries in the world. So I just think it's ridiculous because we have all the resources we need, and we even have the knowledge, but it gets suppressed by a bunch of corporations and companies that don't want knowledge out there like that, and it's a lot of madness. I don't want to go on this tangent, but you get the idea. It's important stuff. So a banana, here's the problem with bananas, is most people just eat them. Oh, it's a fruit, it's good for me, right? But the thing is, bananas and other fruits, actually a lot of yellow fruits, like pineapples, another good example, these tend to absorb into our body much quicker. And I would not recommend them unless maybe it's the first thing you eat when you wake up. But mainly, I don't eat a banana unless I'm a guy. I could eat more than what most people. You might be a girl watching this. You have to be even more sensitive to what you eat. Bananas, make them only after you go running or after you do any kind of exercise. Don't eat them otherwise. I just don't recommend it. Same with like pineapple and other things. If you do, maybe do half a banana. Like it's all about serving sizes, remember? So, and you can, what I like about these, I usually, if I have a banana, I might have it like in a post-workout shake, right? I'm all about drinking shakes too. They're amazing. I'll talk about that later. But I chop up bananas and I put them in my freezer in like a little container. Even a plastic bag works. And then bam, you go through less of them, you spend less money, and you stay leaner because of it. So, carrot. This is a vegetable of the gods, I swear. Basically, 7 grams of carbohydrates for this one carrot. That is amazing. That's great. All right, these are snap peas. How many we got here? Carbs. Where's the carbs? 6 grams of carbohydrates per serving, and a serving is a whole cup. So if you want to be like trimming down, bam, eat vegetables. Like they are the lowest in carbohydrates. You get a whole cup worth, and it's going to satisfy you much more than these other foods that aren't really doing the right thing. By the way, I don't recommend most snack bars. I eat only like a few myself. I like Lara bars. They're pretty awesome. I won't tell you why. They're just really clean ingredients. Good. Protein bars, depending on the brands. What else we got here? Kashi cereal is a good carbohydrate. Once again, it's about portion sizes because, like I was saying before, a serving of this is 30 grams of carbohydrates, and that can be, quite a bit of carbs. So, you might want to portion out, maybe have half a serving, or mix it with some other things. And I definitely recommend the cereal. It's my favorite cereal. It's the only cereal I actually eat. One, because it's high in proteins, high in fiber, which makes everything super awesome, I think. All right, another thing I want to talk about is oatmeal. And oatmeal is good and bad in the sense that you can have, like, look at this box. It's organic oatmeal. I like organic things. But if you look at the carbohydrates on the back, you get original oatmeal, which only has 19 grams of carbs per serving. I think that's pretty good, right? You get like other oatmeals, they add a lot of sugar and other things, so it goes up to like 31 grams of carbs. Like that's a big difference, 19 to 31. So try to get original, and what I recommend doing with that is, you can put them in shakes. You can have it by itself. You can also add like cinnamon to it if you want to, or even add like something like stevia to make it sweeter if you want to. These aren't going to add more sugars and carbs, and that's really going to be, it's going to add that flavor that you might want, because a lot of people don't like something that's so bland. I recommend adding things that add flavors that don't have extra carbs and calories that you really don't need for your body, especially if you want a really nice physique. So it's all about being conscious of these things. Now here's some other alternatives that are really good. I recommend eating beans. Yes, they have carbohydrates, but they also have good fat, and they're healthy for you. Anything that's natural, I think, is very, very good for you. You get live enzymes, especially if you don't overcook food, or if you don't cook it at all. Like, I recommend raw foods. Most people in this country don't get a lot of raw foods at all. They eat dead food all the time. It doesn't help that our food pyramid recently, I don't know if you looked at it, I wish I had a drawing of it, but they have all these different serving sizes of different things, and when I look at it, I'm like, they put this huge value on grains, because we have a huge industry focus of grains in the society, and you don't really need grains to survive by any means. I'm not against grains or anything, but at the same time, I think everything in moderation. And what we do is we process grains, and we make it where they're less valuable in the process. Or if you look at, like, certain kinds of grains, like, I'm not going to name anything right now, but like, digestion's a big key there too. Like, they aren't really necessarily a part of our natural diet in that respect. We do things like wheat. You need the germ. It's the only thing. The wheat germ is the only thing with nutrition value in the wheat. And you don't get that in a lot of breads. You find all these breads with all these chemicals in them, and just junk that you don't need. A lot of ingredients, a mile high. You want to keep things down where you don't have a lot of ingredients in them. They're pretty simple. But white bread is like a no-no. It's like eating table sugar, because it absorbs right in your body super fast, like sugar. Even wheat, like, people are like, wheat's so good. I don't even recommend eating wheat bread. The only kind of bread I really eat is sprouted bread, and you get that in the frozen section, and you like pop it in the toaster. But sprouts are another key thing I think a diet that is really, one, nutritionally savvy, like super awesome, but they're also going to be low in carbohydrates, and those kind of breads are pretty phenomenal. So like try looking at Ezekiel bread, or even hemp breads. Those are really good too. So just other sources of carbs. And some people like to put honey, I think honey's great, but some people like to put preservatives on their toast, say for breakfast. And yeah, that can be good or bad. I just think moderation. Like this, for example, a whole tablespoon, which is not that big, has 13 carbohydrates. But here's the big thing too, is that this product also has high fructose corn syrup in it. So a lot of the jellies you find, other things like that, have high fructose corn syrup in it. And so watch out for that. I don't think it's a really good ingredient by any means. What are some other things to say about that? Like, it doesn't help the fact that when our food companies are being shady and they try changing the name of the high fructose corn syrup, they're trying to make it into corn sugar. They want to have it say corn sugar. And I think it's scary when there's enough bad rap about something that, oh, let's just change the name of it so people don't know about it anymore and they feel more comfortable with the name. Oh, it's corn sugar, no big deal. Well, so watch out for if it says corn sugar or high fructose corn syrup, because you don't want in your diet. It's going to help add to the extra baggage of weight that you don't need. Junk carbohydrate. All right. I think did I mention brown rice? Long brown rice. This is much better than doing like some kind of pasta. It is still high in carbohydrate, yes, but it has other values. The fact like I recommend this if you're gonna do white rice. I mean, I don't recommend white rice. I recommend long grain brown rice or something of the sort like that. And I always think about portion sizes. But the main thing is that it's not processed like white rice. Generally, it's more refined in the sense, and it's gonna absorb in your body more like sugar than say like something else like long brown rice. This is my baby right here. It's one of the shake mixes I use, and basically it's a good source of protein, but it's also very low in carbohydrate. Like it's extremely low in carb. It has 13 carbs in a serving, which is nice. And this kind of carbohydrates, slow releasing. It's natural, and you get all these, like, it's killer with vitamins and minerals. I think it's the other thing about food you have to be aware of is that if we don't maximize our vitamins and minerals or phytonutrients that we get, our body, for one, isn't going to have the health that it could have. Two, it's not going to be able to have the energy you have because you can't produce ATP, which is something that your cells produce in your body, without having the maximum amount of vitamins and minerals. So a lot of people are sluggish, slacking around because they eat dead foods. They don't have vitamins and minerals, or you aren't getting phytonutrients either, like antioxidants in there. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, industry stuff, but all this is important for your health and staying lean, and I think that's your goal. You want to lose body fat. So junk carbohydrates, you don't need them. Let's see. That's all I really have right here. Like I said, any kind of snack bar, just try to have the good ones. Most of them are not good. Any kind of, like this is ridiculous too, any kind of cookies. I saw this one here, it's like a chocolate chip cookie. What was it? 2 cookies equals 20 grams of carbohydrates. So once again, like I said, you're trying to get like 60 or 80 a day because you're trying to really like lose weight quickly. You got to be very aware of all these things, all these factors. So I think I can wrap up the video. The main thing you want to look at is portion size. You can still eat things that you like, but just try to have less of it, eat it slower, enjoy it a little, like just really like taste it, like enjoy it. But I think the main thing is look for things that are lower in carbs. Clearly, I think vegetables are going to be your best ally in that. Like I said, any kind of vegetable you get generally is going to be super low in carbohydrates, and it's going to satisfy your body. Get it organic, because if you don't get it organic, you aren't getting the mineral content by any means, because they put all these chemicals on it. They even genetically modify them. They don't have to label it. It's ridiculous. So if you want health, get organic. If you want leanness, eat good vegetables. Eat smaller meals throughout the day, and we'll get into more about how to break down these meals. And I'll make it simple too. This video might have been complicated to some of you guys out there, and I apologize if it was. But I just want to put that on the table, just some tips of how to lower carbohydrates in your diet so you can actually start leaning down and getting to that body shape you've always wanted to have. Because I know you can do it. It's just about the value and the choices that you make every time you put anything in your mouth. So that's all I got to say for today. I hope you enjoyed this video.